Hey, this is BremSter, and I'm trying to continue my journey recording the, what is the pack called? The Joyful Moments pack by Sandra and Nala. I'm just recording this in my free time, and then once I've done them, I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to release them. I don't know. I have no plans for it. I'm just recording them while I'm solving them because that's what I enjoy doing. So, anyway, the rules above are really condensed because Sandra and Nala love doing incredibly verbose and long rules, and there's nothing I can do about that. If it's in the puzzle or in a description, that's kind of fine. But when I've got limited real estate above, it makes it a little tricky. So yeah, but there's nothing I can do about that. The problem, of course, is if you're trying to understand rules and your rules have particularly long verbiage and everything, and they're not concise, understanding what's going on becomes harder. It can become really hard to scan the rules. So hopefully I can figure out what's going on. Let's have a look at the puzzle. So in the woods, I've been told these puzzles are quite tricky, so we'll see. So normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 get placed without repetition. The grid is partially covered in fog. Entering correct digits will clear the fog from surrounding cells. So for example, if I was to place that digit, all of these cells would have the fog cleared, and I would be able to see what clues are underneath them. Help Nala to map the forest and find the place where we agreed to meet Nelly, her best friend. It is marked and hidden somewhere in the fog. Okay. Shade some cells, some of the cell shading on a fog puzzle. Okay, I'm going to be in trouble with this. But anyway, shade some of the cells such that all shaded cells in the woods are orthogonally connected to an edge of the grid via shaded cells, and all unshaded cells form an orthogonally connected area, the paths, so that all shaded cells in the woods are orthogonally connected to an edge of the grid via shaded cells. So if I was to use, say, blue as shaded, if this cell was shaded, somehow it would need to be connected to the edge of the grid. That's what I know. And all unshaded cells, so if let's say I was using yellow, if this was an unshaded cell, and say this was an unshaded cell, form an orthogonally connected area. So these would have to be orthogonally connected somehow. No 2 by 2 area can be fully path, so which is yellow. So no 2 by 2 area can be fully yellow. The rule does not apply to the woods. What are the woods? Oh, the shaded cells are woods. So maybe I should make the shaded cells green. Okay. Each circled, and this is the thing, it's like extra stuff. Each circled cell is an unshaded. Each circled cell is unshaded, and a digit in a circle indicates how many unshaded cells can be seen in the horizontal and vertical direction, including itself. Shaded cells obstruct the view. Okay. Additionally, all shaded cells. Hang on, you've just changed between paths and shaded and unshaded again. Which one is which? Shaded is woods. So I wish I just have said path or... don't keep switching between. Each circle cell is unshaded, which is path. Okay, so so if they just said each, because then you could have visualized, okay, shaded is woods, unshaded is path, and then you'd said each circle cell is on the path, then you would have been cool. Is unshaded, and a digit in a circle indicates how many unshaded cells can be seen in the horizontal and vertical directions, including itself. Shaded cells, which are woods, obstruct the view. Additionally, all shaded cells act as fortress cells. So wood cells act as fortress cells. Each digit in a shaded cell must be larger than any orthogonally adjacent unshaded cell. All cells that have trees in them must be shaded. Digits in a dashed cage must sum to the small number in the top left corner. Digits may not repeat. So this has to sum to Nala? Digits in a dashed cage must sum to the small number in the top left corner. Digits may not repeat within their own cage. So this is telling me this has to sum to Nala. What? So what digit is Nala? I don't understand. So is there going to be another cage in the grid somewhere that is Nala, and I need to figure out, and they will mean that the cages have the same value? I'm not sure what's going on. Lots of words and it's still not clear. Anyway, I'm going to restart the puzzle. So we know that the trees are all woods, and we know that circles are all path. No 2x2 area can be fully path. But this has to come out because all of the path must be... no 2x2 can be fully path. Each circle... Shades of all woods are orthogonally connected to the edge of the grid, and all unshaded cells form an orthogonally connected area. So this has to connect. No 2x2 area can be all path. So this is woods. But I still need to reveal some more clues. And I can't even tell where the fog is anymore. So I don't know what's going on. So I can't actually shade these. So I have to unshade them so I can see what's going on. So I have to remove all the colouring and remember that these are path and these are not path. But how do I have to shade and then I just have to try and remember. Okay. So I need to try and figure something out. So the circles is unshaded, and a digital circle, how many unshaded cells can be seen in the horizontal and vertical direction. So this is going to count verticality, but why couldn't the path just continue? This acts, well, hang on, this has to be, this is a fortress cell, isn't it? Shaded cells act as fortress cells. So woods act as fortress cells. So this has to be larger. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So these can't see, this can't, and this can't be 1 or 2 because it already sees 3. So this could either be to here or stop. This can't be 1 because it already sees 2. And this already sees 3. But this could be way higher. These are limited by the fortress. This one isn't. Now we know this is shaded, and this is going to be fortress. So this has to be higher than these. So this is 3 or more. But if this was green, these would have the same sum, the same value, because this would see just the vertical band and this would just see the vertical band. So that is yellow, which means this is green. And this is one higher than this. So this is 4 or 5. So there must be a 4 in one of those, because if this is 3, this is 4, and if this is 4, this is 5. So there's no 4 here. This is 2 or 3. It already sees 2. Oh, and the 5 makes that the 4, and that's the 3, and that's the 2, and that becomes woods. Now this has to be higher than 4, so 6, 7, 8, or 9. These have to be higher than these. So I have to put a 1 in one of those because I can't put 1 in any of these because they have to be higher than those. This sees 3, so this becomes woods. And this has to be higher than 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. However, minimum here is 5 and 6, which means they have to be that. So this is because of the 12 cage. So this becomes a 1. Okay, now these are all now part of the path. I'm terrible at path puzzles. I released one on the chat. I recorded. I don't think it's out yet as of me recording this. As of you seeing this, it may have been 3 months ago. I did a path puzzle recently, and oh boy, was I bad at it. I think a lot of people, when I read the Logic Master, I think it was like a 1.5 or a 2-star puzzle on Logic Masters Germany, and it took me over an hour. So these have to connect. So this has to be on the path. Now, this is Fortress. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4, because this has to be higher than all orthogonally connected, but it can't be 3 or 4. So this is 1 or 2, and it already sees 2. So that's a 2, and this is now part of... Now, this has to be... If this came in here, that would be the end of the path. But it says that Nelly find her best friend. It's marked somewhere in the fog. But still, the friend doesn't have to be at the end of the path. This could be path. All I know is no 2x2 area. What is that? That's just a butterfly. Okay. Now, but this needs to connect somehow to the edge of the grid, but it could go that way and that would be fine. But this cell, and actually this cell needs to connect to the edge of the grid. If this was path, this cell's not connected to the edge of the grid. This has to come out. Now, this has to be lower than 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it's not 1 or 2. This is a 3 or a 4. This has to be higher than that. So that's an 8. This is now on the path. I am very confused. Okay, so I'm making some fog progress, but I'm not understanding the pathing correctly. So it's almost certainly this circle, because it sees 3 already. So it's at least 3. No, it sees 4 already, so it's at least 4. So it's 4, 6, 7, or 8. And it's not 8, it's 4, 6, or 7. If this is a 4, that becomes green. That seems okay, and then this path would come out here. If it's 6, then those would be on the path, and that would become green. These can't both be yellow. And if it's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that would become green again as well. But that's all okay. Although if this is... Oh no, that's all good. Because this could be higher than this, because this is the digit that would become high. 8 is in one of those. This has to be green, because if it was yellow, that would have to be higher than it. So that is actually green. And therefore has to be higher than the adjacent yellow and becomes a 9. Trees are always woods. These are always path. No 2x2 area can be path. What do I know about these? This is at least a 3. So this has to grow because it's got no verticality. Because it can't be 2 and it can't be 1 because it already saw 2. So this is at least a 3. So 3, 4, 5. It can't be 6 because this digit has to be higher. So this is 4, 5, or 6. This could be as low as 2 and it could go that way. This still needs to get to the edge, but there are ways of doing this. This is a maximum of 5 now because it has to be lower than the 7 and it can't be 6. It can't be 4 either. This has to connect up, but there's potential ways of doing that. I am terrible at pathing puzzles. So what is this quad? It's 1, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's no 1 in either of those. these aren't restricted in any way at all that I can see. And that can't be a 9 because that would be lower than it. And the same here. So these are 1, 7, 8. 9 is in one of those two, which puts 9 down here. Now, 9 always has to be on a green cell. But I'm not sure why I couldn't just turn around and say all of that is green. There's no 2x2 restriction on woods at all. So this path could potentially do, that, and then all of the bottom of the grid could be green. It's probably not, but I don't think the rules preclude that. I mean, if I get circles down the bottom, that would be a thing. Actually, this has to see 8. And the maximum it could see in this direction is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has to go down at least 1. And the maximum it can see down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to go at least 1 more in that direction as well. That mattered, potentially. So this is now at least 3. So this is 3, 4, or 5. But this now can't be a 3 because it sees 4. So this is 4, 5. So this can't be a 4. This is 5 or 6. So 1 and 2 are both in there, and there's no 1 there or 2 there. That's cool. That is cool. Hang on, this is a 2. That can't see any more cells. That is green. And this path needs to get out. That is on the path. I should have seen that earlier. Now that could be path, I think. Like there's nothing about paths being not able to touch each other diagonally or anything. So that could be path. But this path now needs to continue. This already now sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this can't be a 4. This is a 6 or a 7. Because it already sees 6. Sorry, that 2 was way more powerful. That can't be an 8 anymore because that would have to be higher. It could be a 7 with that being an 8 though, if that stopped there. So that could still work, I think. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. You can never see just one cell on a path. That's just not possible. Because to see one cell, it would have to just be that, and that doesn't work. 2 would be possible in situations like this. So 2, it would need to do something like that or that. And then everything around it would need to be green. So 2 is possible. 5 is also possible if it did that. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not good at these. But this is how I practice. You do the puzzles and then you get better at them. But it does mean I'm waffling into a camera looking like a complete Burke. So this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is either that's green or it sees 1 more and that's green. But how does that help me? This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 6, 7, or 8. This can't be 3 because it has to be higher than that. So 3 is in one of those two. So this is 4, 6, 7, or 8. No, it doesn't have to be higher at all. That could be on the path. That is complete and utter nonsense. Because this could be a path cell, and then that could be 5. So, and that could go to there, and then that would all be fine. And then this doesn't have to be higher than that, because that, yeah, no. Though then this would have to get out. How does this connect up? because this needs to connect to this somehow. And however this connects to this, like if it connects directly or it does any of this, this can't get out via down here. So if this was path, let's use orange for path, how would this then connect to the edge? It would need to connect to the edge something like that. Let's use the other green. So it would need to, that's not very clear. Let's use purple. This would have to connect something like that. But then I can't connect these the two parts of the paths together. So that doesn't work. So this cannot be path. That has to be forest. And now it does need to be larger. So this is 4, 5, 6, or 7. No. 4, 5, 6. It can't be 5. 4, 6, 7, or 8. So 3 is in one of those two. There you go. But what has that done for me lately? Well, it can't be 6. So this is 4, 7, or 8. If I could stop it being 4, if that's 4, that's 3, and that's path. Not on path, that's woods. I don't know, maybe? Maybe? One of these needs to grow, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these needs to actually. So these, no, hang on, that's not true. What's going on here? If this grows by 1, that becomes 4. If this grows by 1, that becomes 5. If this is 3 and that stops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that would need to be 6. Why have I said that can't be 6? Because that, oh my lord, that's insane. This can't be set higher than 6. So it can't be. So if this is 3, then this would stop. These would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that would need to be a 6, and it can't be. That is not a 3. That's a 4, 5 pair. That's a 6. That's crazy. This is now an 8, 9 pair for the cage. This is now on the path. That's crazy. So it's not a 1 because it already sees 2. That's a 1. Can't make a 2 by 2. At least on the path you can't make a 2 by 2. This is an 8, 9. Now, I don't know anything. Does it say anything about cage cells? No, it doesn't. But this needs to connect. So that needs to get out, which is fine for fortress. If that's a 2, that stops. But that could be a fortress 2. No, it can't be. Ooh, if this is off the path, that's the 2. So if this is green, that's a 2, and both of those become green, which would be fine. If this is path, if that's path, that's not a 2, that would be a 2. And if it's not path, I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it. Now, I've got a 4, 5 here, so I know what these are. These are 2 and 3. Which means 3 is in one of those. But that, oh no, that can be a 3. What am I talking about? There's no circle there. Okay. Hang on. This has no horizontality. Is horizontality a word? I'm saying horizontality is a word. So that clue has no horizontality. If this clue had no horizontality, then this would see whatever is vertical, and this would see whatever is vertical, and those would be the same digit. So this needs horizontality, and it can't go that way. So that is on the path. So it must be, well, we know what, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. And it can't be 8 because it needs to be lower than that. Or because of the 8-9 pair. I will let you choose. Now this sees at least 4 already. So it's 4, 5, 6, or 7. But I think it could be any of those because it doesn't see any of this stuff. It's one of those 3. Whew. Now these still need to connect up some way. This is coming out through up here, but it's got multiple ways out. I could possibly make a thing of it has to come up here because if it comes out this way and hits the edge, how does this connect up? Actually, that's probably true. Because this cell needs to connect. It can't connect up here, so it has to connect to this somehow, and it can't connect through here. So however I connect this, this can't come to the edge through here. So it has to come to the edge through here. That's got to be correct, doesn't it? If this made a path to the edge, coming this way. So let's say this was green. Now this could be green, but let's say this was the path to the edge, like that. How do I connect that yellow cell to anything else? I can't. So, the path to the edge cannot come this way. This could be green, but I can't make it all the way to the edge this way. So the way to the edge has to come through here, and that has to be green, because you're allowed 2x2s in green. This now has to be larger than that, which just means it's at least 3. 3 can't be 4, 5 can't be 6, 3, 5, or 7. Because it can't be 8 or 9 either. 1 in this column is a bit restricted. Can't be there, because this is also at least 3. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is getting me some restriction. 1 and 2 in this column are in those cells. Boy, am I bad at this. Two is in one of those 3 cells. Actually, 3 is restricted as well. 3 is in one of those. I need to get better at path puzzles. So this... Is it that clue? This can't be a 4 because it has to be higher than that. If that'd be a 4, that'd be a 5, and that doesn't work. So that's a 7, 8. So, hang on. So that's a 6, 7, 8 triple. This is a 3, 4. So I've got a 3, 4 in that column. Eight is in one of those 2. But I don't know... I feel I'm doing better at the fortress than I normally do, but I'm not understanding the path. I can't put a 7 here, because if I did, these would both have to be lower than 7, and that's not an option. So that's an 8 or a 9. If that's an 8, this is a 1, 7, and that's a 9. If that's a 9, then I've got possibilities. How do I resolve this? I'm not seeing any 2x2 issues in yellow. Six is... Oh, that's not a 6 because of that 6. So that is a 6. That's what I would do to resolve it. And it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is green. Okay, so the path now needs to connect up. And you can't put 9 on a path because it has to be lower than that. I couldn't put 9 there anyway because of the 8, 9. But you know what I mean. So that is a maximum of 8. If that's an 8, that could be an 8. Is that the issue here? Because the minimum here... Oh, no, that could be 1 or 2. And is probably 1 or 2, actually. Because 2 has to go in there. That could be 2, 1, actually. So that could actually be 2. Now, I'm not allowed a 2x2 in yellow. But I could have yellow do that and then have that green and all sorts of weird stuff going on. But this now sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this isn't 4 or 5. This is 6 or 7. So this can only see a maximum of 1 more. So either this is green or this is green. This can't go all the way down to the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This must grow by at least 1. So this now can't be 4. That's 5. That's 4. Which means it grows 1 more and then goes green. That's cool. This now sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 7. Which means that's not a 7. That is now on the path because it's a circle. This can't be a 2x2. That is off. This is a 20 cage. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that. That 4 makes that the 3 and that the 4. There's a 1. There is a given digit. Didn't feel very given. I think that 7 was the same. In fact, that 8 was the same as well. Just doesn't feel very given, does it? That takes 1 out of there and makes that the 1. This is now... Oh, it's not quite a triple. But this is a pair. This is 2, 5. But 2 or 5 are both higher than 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That works. And 8 and 9 are both higher. But this green has to get out to the edge, so that has to be green. 3 makes that 2, which makes that green. Makes that 3. The 7 means that's not 7. So this can't be 5 anymore because this has to be higher than it. I still feel like I'm doing terribly at this puzzle, but less terribly. This is 6 or 7. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. This is 6 or 7. This is a known triple. Actually, I've got known triples here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 9 go into those. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 3, 4, 7. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 6, 8. But I don't know much about it. Like, this has to be higher than this, so it's not a 1. This has to come out, but it could go either way. This is seeing at least 2. But that could... This can't see only 2. Actually, no, it could. Those could both be green. That would be perfectly acceptable, because green could do all of that. This could be a dead end of the path, and the path could come up here. That could absolutely be a 2. I don't see a problem with that being a 2 at all. I'm wondering if this flower bed is Sandra not cleaning up after Nala. If that's what... Anyway, let's not talk about that. Okay, oh, this 7 makes this a 6. So it's a 20 cage that must go this way, mustn't it? No, it doesn't have to. This could be 8. This could be 9, and then these could easily sum to 11. But the cage could continue like that. But this is higher than 6. Well, this is a 7, 8, 9 triple, basically, in the column. But this could be green because, or if this is on the path, this would have to be higher than this. So this would be 7, 8. So if this is on the path, this would be 7, this would be 8. And then I need 2 digits down here that sum to 5. But I could use 4, 1. That would work. I think. I don't see why that wouldn't work. Okay, so I'm still missing something because I am me. So this is green now. So where's 1 in this column? 1 is there or there. Can I put 1 there? I absolutely can put 1 there if that's green. So what are these? These are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. There's no 1 or 2 there. This is 3, 5, or 6. There's no 3 or 5 there. This is 1, 2, or 6. Unfortunately, that can't be 6 because that couldn't be higher. But I can't stop that being 1 or 2. Yeah, 8, 7, 4, 1. Oh, sorry, 7, 8, 4, 1 could work. Except that can't be a 1. Right. So now. Could this be 2, 3? To get the 5. If this is 7, 8, because remember, if this is on the path, this has to be larger than it. So it'd have to go 7, 8. If this is 7, 8, could this go 2, 3? I think it can. So it'd be 7, 8, 2, 3, 2 now. That'd be 9, that'd be 5, that'd be 2, that'd be 4. That all looks okay. So it's not quite forcing it yet. It feels like it is, but I don't think it is. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is green. And that has to be higher than that. So that's not 3 and that's not 7. I mean, that's done nothing, but it is true. The maximum this could be would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is exact, but the maximum it can be is 6, and it can't be 1. And it could be 2 if all of those are green. Well, if both of those are green. It can't be 5 or 6. So this is 2, 3, or 4. So if it's 2, both of those are green. If it's 3, one of those is green. If it's 4, I'm not sure. One, therefore, is in one of those 2 spots. That's a bit weird. One is actually up here because one can't be there or in any of those. One is up here, which is putting one down here. I don't know that that's helping me though. Part of the problem with living a busy lifestyle or recording long puzzles while having a lot of other things to do in your life is you get interrupted. So I just kind of placed some ones, but this was like half an hour ago. Now, where was I looking? I think Can this be path? No, because if this is path, this would have to be higher. So this is definitely not path, which means none of these can be on the path because I couldn't connect them up. So this 20 cage, that gives me more freedom. Because this could sum to 15, those could sum to 5. Okay. Please don't be another interruption. Not quite. Okay, I can look at that later. That cell sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So it's 5, 7, 8, or 9. Which means it is higher than that, so it cannot be path. Because if this was path, it'd have to be lower than the 3. So that is definitely green. So this now has to get out because it needs to connect. So that is yellow. So this needs to be lower than this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not 1 or 2. This is 3, 4, or 5. And it's not 5. That's a 3 or a 4. That gives me a 2, 3, 4 triple. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 8, and 9. And there's an 8, 9 in the box. That's the 1. Okay, so I can take the 1 out of there, make that the 1. Can that all be on path? Could that be path? If this was path, that would be a 3, 4. That would be 8, 1. Oh no, that could be 9. That could be 9 if that was also path. So if the path did that, that could be a 9. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, this is definitely not on the path. Is that definitely on the path? Well, this is definitely on the path. Could that connect through here and that not be on the path? No, because if this was not on the path, it would have to be higher than that because it would become a fortress cell. This is on the path. That is now a 3, which makes that a 4. That's a 2, and that C's 2. So this is actually not on the path. Okay, so 1 can't be on the path. The path has to get out. There's no 1 here. These are 2, 3, 5, and 6. Now this, hang on, no, they're not 2, 3, 5, 6. That is completely wrong. There's no 3 here. These are 2, 4, 5, and 6. And there must be a 4 in here. This 3 says there's no 3 here. 2 must be down here for this column. So there's no 2 here. This is 4, 5, 6. This is 2, 5, 6. This has to see at least 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those must at least... And it can't see 6. There's no 6 here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's got no verticality. Okay. This is 4 or 5. If this is 4, that would be 5, and that doesn't work, because if this is 4, this would be higher, and that's not the 4, this is the 4. And if that was the 2, that would be a 5, and that doesn't work either. Oops, sorry. So this is the 2. So this is not 2 or 4. So that's a 5-6 pair. But the 2 makes that the 5 and that the 2. The 5 makes that the 6 and that the 5, which takes 5 out of those, which makes that the 3 and that the 6. The 6? No. These are 5, 7, 8, 9. There's no 5 there. So 5 is in one of those two. But if this was the 5, that would be a 7, 8, 9 and would be higher. That's not the 5. That's the 5. That is now green because of the tree. There's no repeated 7 in the cage. So 7 and 8 would make that 5. 7 and 9 would make that 4. But it can't be 4. So this is 5. This is also green. Path has to get out, which means this is lower, so it's not 9. Oh, there's an 8, 9 pair. That's just a 7. Which means that's not the 7. That's an 8, 9 in the row. So I know what this triple is. 2, 4, 6. This is 3, 8, 9. But the path has to keep getting out. So the path has to do that and continue. The path has to be all of those. Because the path has to get out. That's insane. So if this was a 3, both of those would need to be less than a 3. That's not a 3, that's an 8, 9. So that becomes the 3. Do I know anything about that yet? I don't think I do, because the path could do that. Maybe? Because these are all lower. These are 1, 7, 8. Oh, these. Oh, where's 7? That's just a 7 now, because that's an 8, 9 pair. So these are 1, 8, and 9. That 5 looks down, making that the 9. So there's no 9 there. 1 is right here, because 1 can't be in any of those, That one says not there, that one says not there. That's a 1. We have another bit of... So this has to be on the path, because if it was not on the path, that would have to be lower. So this is on the path. We can't have a 2 by 2. The 4 takes 4 out of there. Hang on, this cage doesn't continue. So that restricts this, doesn't it? I can't remember what I've looked at and what I haven't. Sorry, distractions mess with my brain. I lose all puzzle memory. So this needs to have a 9 in it because it's got 2 high digits, because it can't have 3 and 4. So it's got 2 high digits. And if it was 7 and 8 without the 9, I'd need a 5, and there's no 5 available. So there must be a 9 in the cage. Right. And it's 9, 4, 7, or 3, 8. So if that's the 4, that's the 7. So I can't put a 7 there. And if it's 3, 8, so that can't be the 8. So they're the order. So there's a 7 down there. There's an 8 in one of those two. But I wanted that for a pointing 7. So there's a 7 in one of those two. This is 4, 7, 8. 9 is down here. That could be 9. That can't be 9 because it has to be lower than that. But that could be. Ah, it can't be because of that. That is a 9. Which means, that could be on the path if the path does that. If that's an 8 and these are lower than 8, that could be on the path. okay. There's more pathing tricks going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't use 7. 3, 6, and 8 go into those. And it must contain a 6. Oh, this sees it's 4. That's green. Could the path do that? Maybe. Like, could that be on the path? Like, I don't see why you couldn't have that. That could be a valid path, maybe. Nine, 9 means that's not a 9. 9 is in one of those two. Now, if this is a 9, it is not on the path. But those could both be green, and the path could come down this way. Can I resolve this 20 cage? So 9, 4, 7 would make that 3, and 3 is less than 4. 9, 8, 3 would make that 4, and 4 is less than 8. Okay. That seems unhelpful. There's a 2 up here. There's a 5 up here. 2, 5 with either 3 or 4. There's no 5 there. 5 is in one of those two. I haven't got any circles on that side of the grid, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to make this path grow. Oh, 7 and 5 means that's an 8. I've had that for so long. So that's the 9, that's the 8, that's the 9, that's the 8, that's the 9, that's an 8. So that's a 1 and that's a 9. And now this can't be on the path. That's green. Sorry, that's been there forever. Now 5... If this was on the path, how would I connect them up? Because if this was on the path, it would have to come out. But I'd still need to connect this up, which would have to do that, and I'd have a 2x2. This is not on the path. This has to be... Oh, I don't know that that's on the path or not. But the path has to come out and connect, and it still needs to come out and connect. Now, the path is connected. This has to be lower than this, so it's not 8. This can't be on the path because then I'd have a 2x2. So this can't be a 2 because if this is 2, both of those would need to be less than 2. That does not work. This needs to be lower than this, so it's not an 8. The 2-6 pair makes that the 8, which looks down saying that's not the 8. In fact, that's not an 8 either. Neither is that. This is an 8 because of the 2 8s looking down, knocking 8s out of all of those. That's a 9, and that 8 says that's not an 8. That's an 8, which means that's a 4. 9 and 4 is 13, so that's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 3. Is that correct? Yes. The 7 makes that the 8 and that the 7. That 8 can't be on the path because then this would have to be higher than it. So that is green. This is on the path. This is where Nelly is. Okay, so these cages don't count as dashed cages for the rules, where it says digits in a dashed cage must sum to the small number in the top left corner. These ones don't count. But the path has to reach to here. This one looks down, making that the 5 and that the 1. Now, I can't just path this whole area. This has... Oh, I don't know. If these are both green, that could be a 4, I think. Maybe not. Maybe there's something else going on. There's probably something else going on. So this is 3, 6, which is remarkably unresolved. But these are therefore 2, 4, 5, and 7. But there's no 7 in them. That's a 7. These are 2, 4, 5. Except there are digits I can remove from there. I shouldn't have removed the pencil marks yet. Now this is less, this is less, this is less. This can't be a 5. This is a 2 or a 4 because of the 5. 7, No. That's a 2, 4, 6. So that's a 7, meaning that's not a 7. This is a 3, 4. Is there more Sudoku I have missed? Boy, I hope so. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4. That's a 5. That's the only place for a 5. Okay. Now, these paths are already connected. So I could block in here. So this this could either go this way or this way. If this was 5, 1, that would all work. And if this was 4, 5 and that, like I could connect those up and that would all work. How do I resolve this? How do I resolve this? How do I resolve this? Two, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6, with 3 being in one of those two. 2, 3, 4, 6. This looks like a deadly pattern to me. This is lower, 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 this is lower. If the path did that, everything is lower. If the path did that, then the path would also have to pick up that cell. And everything is lower. Can that cell not be on the path? No. Because one of these cells would need to be on the path. So that is definitely on the path. Because if this wasn't on the path, this cell would need to be on the path to get in, and this would be higher than that. So this is on the path. One of these is on the path, but they're both fine. If I go... I can't take both of the 5s, because then I've got a 2 by 2. Have I made a mistake somewhere? I have to have made a mistake somewhere. I mean, I was wondering whether these had to be the same digits, but they don't. Is there something about this having to be higher or lower? Like Nelly? No? So if the path does this, that is not on the path. All of the fortress is fine. This is lower, this is lower, this is lower, this is lower, this is lower. All of these are lower. All of these are lower. So that's all fine. If the path does that, this is not on the path. All of these are lower. That could be on the path or not. It'd be ambiguous. No, green needs to get to the edge. So if the path goes this way, no, right, that's it. If the path goes this way, this can't not be on, this has to be on the path, and that 9 is trapped. So this, the path can't go this way. No, this is a 5. If the path... So if this is on the path, and it does this, this 9 is trapped. Or this entire section is trapped. This cannot be on the path. And then this... So the path does that. It's the green area needing to connect to get to the edge. That's how you solve it. But there's the path. I must have made a mistake on digits. No, the digits I've entered are correct. That is higher than that no matter what. How does this not have 2 solutions? I've done all the cages because these are the only cages that have values in them. There's no value in this cage. Oh, how many cells does it see? This has got a circle in it. This sees 2. So this is a 2. So this is a 6. This is a 4. There's no 4 there. The 6 makes that the 2, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 2. The 6 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 6, which looks up, making that the 4 and that the 3. And this is the 4. 137 minutes. Okay, that took me a while. That was tricky. I was definitely in the woods with that puzzle. That was tricky. Just, ugh. I do terribly at these puzzles, don't I? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. I try. Stunning puzzles, but oh my lord. Yeah, I will keep trying to work through this pack. At this rate, it's probably going to take me weeks or longer to get through the 5 puzzles in this pack. We will see how we go. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was solid work. Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye. Good luck with your solving.